So the next question about this was, even if the expected move gets close to in the money. Yeah, Yenny. So if you look at we looked at the options chain at the time. There was a good amount for sure of options on both sides of the coin here. But my decision to take the trade was based on the actual technical setup of the trade. I didn't want to go too far out of the money for a number of reasons, but one of which is look at the Bollinger Bands here. We're in compression, tight compression here, started to get into compression, and really, I'm just looking for a move to here. If it goes further, that would be great. And so it came up a little bit, and then closed the trade at a good profit down in here, and then closed some more today. So it ended up being a decent trade. But as far as your trade there, Jax, I mean, you could certainly hold it and say, yeah, but what if it gaps down? What if NVIDIA drops and for whatever reason this gaps down? Yes, it will be profitable. But what you might need to do, Jax, is go ahead and buy maybe the 180 calls for today. I mean, for Friday as a hedge. Because now you have a binary trade, right? You literally have a binary trade. Yeah, so a binary trade means you are only looking for it to go in one direction, which is fine at times, right? But because you have an event coming up, just remember, guys, if you put on a trade and say, I think it's going to go up, great. I like this trade. I think it's going to go down. Great. That's called a binary trade. You're rooting for it in this direction. That's fine. But if you have multiple trades going in this direction, say puts, and there's some kind of event going on, maybe it's jobs report, CPI, PCE, GDP, Powell's about to speak, an earnings report, then you might want to protect yourself, because if let's just say you're sitting on all these puts. And a good example is last week, which is why I bought SQQQ puts in case the market went up, because I had some shorts. It did, and I got more than a double on the SQQQ puts. But let's just say an event is coming up here. You want to protect yourself. Put some kind of small hedge here in case you're wrong and the price goes like this and you lose, or begin to lose. You can mitigate some of it with the insurance. And so what I'm pointing out to you is you could take a trade and go, yeah, I think it's going to go this way. But if you have an event coming up, like earnings report, NVIDIA, do you think it makes sense, since the earnings report is today? Jax, do you think you might want to put a little hedge on your trade? So you have a few options here. Number one is you could just close the trade and be done with it. Small loss, small win, close it. Number two, you could close some of it, which would reduce your exposure in case you're wrong. Reduce exposure. That's number two you could do. Number three is you could just say, F it. I'm going to leave it, right? I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to risk the debit. You could do that too. And lastly, number four is you could put a hedge. So now what I've just drawn up here on the board applies to every trade you ever take in the future that you have a question about what you should do. Does everybody see this? This is a critical part of Masterclass. Could be another level of your understanding. Okay, you are in a trade. You need to manage that trade. But you get to a point in this trade where you feel, this is the worst word in trading, you feel like you need to do something. And you all know what I mean by that. I don't have to be specific. You know what I mean. You feel like you need to do something. Not sure, but I got to do something. So if you do get to the point where you feel like you've got to do something, there's an earnings report coming, there's data, there's Powell, it's down a bit, it's up a bit, I'm not sure. I just feel like I have to do something. Then you always have four options. and only 4 options. And these are them. Number 1 is the easiest thing that you can do. Close the trade. By closing the trade, you do a few things. You preserve your capital, so you can recycle some of that capital back into your account, whatever's left. So let's say you're in a losing trade and you feel like you have to do something. You could close it and preserve whatever capital is left. I made a mistake. I bought the wrong thing. I feel like I have to do something about it. Just close the trade and preserve whatever capital you have left. I've been in this trade for a long time and it's not going anywhere, and I feel like I have to do something about it. Just close the trade. And what you will then do is you will preserve your mental capital. This just happens to be one of the next musts to matter, but I figured it's appropriate to let you have it now. Preserve your mental capital, right? You're just like, this thing's driving me crazy. Every time I wake up in the morning and it's down 40%, it's like it's itching at me. It's, I feel like I have to do something about it. You could just close the trade. You preserve your capital and your mental capital as well. And guess what? All emotion and stress that's involved with this trade disappears. Other than maybe some regret. Oh, I made a mistake, kick yourself in the head, whatever. Everybody understand number 1? So if you feel like you got to do something, the first option is to close it. It seems obvious, but so many of you, well, should I close it? Or maybe it'll do this. Should I add to it? Should I flip it? Should I hedge it? Should I scale out? Should I add to it and average down? Like, what should I do? You could close it. The second thing that you could do, well, I feel like I have to do something. But if part of you says, you know what, but I still like it, you could put a stop loss date, but you don't use stop losses in options trading. If you haven't learned that yet, you just learned it. We don't use stop losses in options trading because you need for the stock to be able to breathe. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have a mental stop loss, as Yenny says, or a level at which you will take out that trade. That's called a cut loss level. I'm going to cut my losses here. I got the trade, here. It went up, it pulled back, and now it's going back up. I'm going to take this trade up to here. But if it goes back down below here, that's my cut loss. That is completely something else. I like the trade, but I feel like I need to do something. Well, one of the things that you could do is you could close some of the trade and reduce your exposure. So now let's just say you had $600 in a trade. You're like, oh my God, this trade is gnawing at me daily. I'm down $200. I don't want to lose the whole 600. I still believe in the trade, but I'm too much in it. Well, what if you closed half of it? What if you could get, close half the trade? It's already down a little bit. You're able to put maybe $250 back into your pocket. Preserve some capital, preserve some mental capital, and now you only have $350 at risk. Do you feel a little better about the trade being only at $350 exposure? So you could close some of it to reduce your exposure. That's option number 2. And the result is right here. You preserve capital and preserve mental capital. The third option is you could just say F it. Yes, that's an official trading term. Risk the debit. I'm okay with it. I feel like I have to do something, but you know what? I'm okay risking the debit. That is a choice to make. I will stay in the trade and risk the debit. It doesn't mean tomorrow you can't look at option number 1 and number 2 again, or even number 4. And 4 is, I like it. I want to keep it, but I feel like I have to do something. So I'm going to put a little counter trade, short term, and it's usually short term. Put a little short term counter trade on it. And that way, if it goes the other way, at least I've mitigated some of the downside. right? I've mitigated some of my loss. And so these are always your 4 options. Everybody clear about this?
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video from Trade With Me Now. Make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel so you make sure that you catch our next video right when it's released. Also, if you have a question or comment, please leave that in the comments section below. And of course, if you want to learn more about Trade With Me Now or join our community of profitable traders, go to tradewithmenow.com. There's also a link in the description below.